Hello dreamers, welcome back to my channel. If you watched my first video, you saw that was a full valley tour of my main valley. I took you through each of the biomes. My main valley's been fully decorated now for the last several months, and I am very proud of it. It's constantly changing for the most part. Side note, if you hear my dogs in the background, I sincerely apologize.
This
Oh
is a
my
really
goodness,
amazing
Woody.
place.
Excuse you, sir. Anywho, this is their house too. It is what it is. So, my valley is constantly changing, but it's pretty much in a spot now that I'm pretty happy with all of the biomes so far. Well, I say that, and literally my very next video could possibly be, let's completely redo my Peaceful Meadow.
Being here is almost as good
LOL.
as playtime.
So, anyways, today's video, I am going to kind of show you guys what my everyday looks like when I log into Dreamlight Valley. These are my daily tasks that I do, my chores. I clean up my valley, I go around each biome and Storybook Vale and Eternity Isle and clean it up. So let's get started. So I always start off typically with the plaza, even though my house is in the Peaceful Meadow. I feel like the plaza is just a really good, like, middle ground, good starting point of kind of the pattern that I do.
This is a really amazing place.
Generally do the same thing every day. I have ancient vacuums in all of my biomes in Eternity Isle, Storybook Vale, and my main valley. I did get Wish Blossom Ranch, and I'm so excited. When I recorded this video, it wasn't out yet, but doing the voiceover, it has been released. So I'm loving it so far. I know there's a lot of discourse online about the length of it, and honestly, I'm on the fence because I feel like with Eternity Isle and Storybook Vale, the storyline, especially with the being a two-parter, I understand what the devs were trying to do with splitting the stories up. I feel like if you played the stories in one straight go, the story would probably seem very short too, but because it was broken up into two parts, I feel like those two definitely felt longer than perhaps this storyline. I'm nowhere near. I haven't even unlocked Pixie Acres. I just got Con, and I'm about to go on a tangent. Me and Con are beefing right now. I cannot get this horse past level 3. I spent hours last night, literally hours, trying to level this horse up past level 3. And here's the problem, okay? One of the meals that he wants is bugged. You cannot make it. It's the, like, button mushroom something. Like, the ingredients are button mushroom and carrot, and it's like a legit known bug. The devs are working on it from what Reddit and all of the forums have told me. So I cannot get him past level 3. Also, one of the other things that he wants, or is a favorite of his, is literally in Pixie Acres, where I can only access I'm level 4. And I just, so, we're beefing. We're not friends right now. I am trying to do it the old-fashioned way and just, like, ride around and do tasks with him and jump literally everything I can possibly jump in these valleys. But it's slow. This is a greater power telling me to take it slow and not rush. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm not rushing through this DLC. I probably would if I could, but I can't, so I'm not. But I can understand what people are saying about it feeling very short. Again, my dog is trying to murder his stuffed animal. So if you hear the squeaking, I apologize. I digress. So I can understand people feeling like the story is short. I think I still do prefer getting it all in one go than waiting, 6+ months for the second part of the story. I think maybe they'll find a middle ground, but to be perfectly honest, with the other 2 stories, because of how much time was between both parts, I felt like by the time I got to part 2 and played it, so much time had passed that I couldn't really remember what happened in part 1. So I had to go back and kind of rewatch, like, playthroughs to remember, like, what the first part of the story was about. So I don't really like that, but I also don't want it to feel like the story's super duper short because it's all in one go. So I don't know. I think another thing too is if you really think about it, part 1 of Storybook Vale versus part 2, I feel like part 2 felt very short compared to part 1.
A great day to play outside.
So really, I do think that if you had put the 2 parts together, it would have felt very short. I could be wrong. I don't know. But to be honest again, I'm just happy that we're getting DLCs. I feel like with this DLC especially, there seems to be so much content involved in it, especially with the addition of horses and the modular buildings. And it's beautiful. Like, I haven't made it to Pixie Acres again, side-eyeing Yukon, but the DLCs that I have been, did I have a stroke? The biomes that I have accessed are beautiful. I'm not as big of a fan of Cruella's, like the Glamour Gulch. Is that what it's called? Yeah. I'm not as big of a fan of that biome as I am of the Wish Blossom Valley side, like the Alpine Ranch side. But I do appreciate the style of what, it is. 101 Dalmatians was my favorite Disney movie as a child. And I'm just super optimistic and excited for more of that franchise coming to Dreamlight Valley. When we got lucky, my heart just couldn't take it. I love him so much. Really and truly, the only reason that he's not on my side at all times is because I'm currently trying to level up all of my companions. But once that happens, Mr. Lucky Dog is gonna be my numero uno. Always. Because He's just so cute. He reminds me
Do they have TV here?
of my in real life dog, who he is a Jack Russell, but he has like little spots on his like back near his bottom that we call his Dalmatian spots, and they're just so precious. So I love Lucky. I love 101 Dalmatians. So I'm honestly thrilled to have any of those additions in the game. Speaking of additions, when I was younger, Winnie the Pooh for a time was one of my absolute favorite movies. And I love Tigger. I feel like I connect to him with my little ADHD brain. I feel like he's definitely a character that I can resonate with. So I am glad that they kind of chose him as that first, like, Winnie the Pooh character. I do think there was a very calculated move as far as adding Tigger first and not necessarily adding Pooh, because I have obviously not finished Wish Blossom Ranch, but I have seen spoilers for the end of it, which I won't go into about what they are. But I do wonder what the future of future DLCs is going to be based off of what the end of this DLC shows. So, I mean, obviously, in previous DLCs, they've given us hints to the next DLCs. So, we'll see. I love Dreamlight Valley. I've loved it for years. I think it's a great game. I think that it's a constantly evolving game as well. I mean, just in this DLC alone, the new mechanics that were introduced, as far as like the horses and the modular buildings, really and truly, I do think that the devs listen to feedback from players. I think they care about what their audience says, and they take account of ways to make the game better. I really do think so. I think the game is constantly improving. It's constantly changing. I was not one of the early access players, but I have been playing since I think the first year, probably towards the end of the first year. So I've been playing the game from the earlier days, and the things we can do now versus the things that were available back then, it really is honestly like a completely different game. So, you know, it's one of those things, like, I know that there's obviously things to criticize. There's always going to be things to criticize, but at the end of the day, if the game you're currently playing excites you and interests you enough to keep your focus and energy on, I don't really know what else you could ask for in a game. Like, if a game excites you and, you know, you're constantly looking forward to the next edition, whatever it may be, I think that's a win. And that's what Dreamlight does for me, and I know that's what it does for hundreds of other players. So that's what I just try and keep in mind, that although it does have faults and things like a buggy, you know, meal that is preventing me from leveling up my stinking horse is frustrating at times. There's so many aspects to this game that I love so much more than frustrate me. So going back to what I'm doing in the video, I went on a huge tangent about Wish Blossom Ranch. You're seeing bits and pieces of my Eternity Isle. I will probably do a full Eternity Isle tour eventually. I realized after I made that very bold claim that my Eternity Isle was fully decorated that that was not 100% the case. There are like 2 or 3 complete sections of the grasslands that I have not decorated. I have not touched the bamboo trees in pieces of the grasslands. Like, they are where they were when I first went into that area. And I guess I just completely forgot about that. The problem with Eternity Isle is there's so many small sections that I just don't know what to do with. Like, in the grasslands, I have Mulan's area, where I have like 2 pieces of it that are dedicated to her. And then I have a section that is kind of my Neverland atmosphere, where I have Peter Pan. With the addition of Tinkerbell, that might change, because I do try and keep my different characters together if I can. I'm sure you saw a little bit earlier on the place where I have Wally and Eve on the docks on Ancient's Landing. So once I get, once I finish the story of Wish Blossom Ranch and I'm kind of free to do with Tinkerbell, I don't know if she has a house. I haven't gotten to that part yet because she's still under the mountain holding the mountain together. So if she does have her own house, I probably will put her and Peter together somewhere if I can. It may stay in Eternity Isle, or I may move them to Pixie Acres, depending on what that biome looks like. I don't know. I have no idea what it looks like in entirety yet. So we'll see. But Eternity Isle has always kind of been a struggle for me to decorate. This is like the market area I have in the Borderlands. And it's fine. I probably won't do the full tour of my Eternity Isle until I'm fully happy with everything. I have a section for Aladdin and Jasmine because I just feel like this is made for them. The dunes is made for them. There is a part 2 where you're gonna see where the cave is from Aladdin, where I just added a bunch of sand dunes, and I kind of like that. Like, I feel like in the movie that part was in a desert, so I really don't want to do anything different than, having it be a desert, especially with Aladdin and Jasmine's Agrabah Castle, kind of Agrabah-like palace. I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it because I don't think I go there because I don't have anything to collect there. Hey, Peter. But, so, I probably won't do a tour until I'm fully happy with what the Isle looks like. This is Mulan's section. I feel like it fits very, very well in Eternity Isle, kind of like the jungly aspect of it. It just, the pinks and the greens and all of that just fits very well here. So, and I haven't really ever found another spot that I like for Mulan in my main valley, and obviously not Storybook Vale, for me, personally. I have seen people put her in Storybook Vale and in their valley, and it looks beautiful, but for me and mine's, this is where I like her. So, we're kind of coming up to the Neverland part of it. And again, I'm happy with it, but I just feel like there's something missing. And I'm hoping that when I get to Pixie Acres, that will kind of maybe be what I'm looking for as far as Peter's spot in the valley. Because I like this. He was in my Peaceful Meadow when he first came, and I had that kind of like decorated as Neverland, but I wasn't happy with that. Oh look, an empty space. One of my undecorated parts of Eternity Isle. Oh, that's embarrassing, but it's fine. I just gave myself way too much credit than was actually due, clearly. My Storybook Vale is, for the most part, I think it's like 95% decorated. There have been areas that I have changed since this video, I think, so when I do fully do the tour of Storybook Vale, that it will look a little different than what is in this video, I think. It's not like big sections, but I did add a section in there for Casita, not Casita, I'm sorry, La Buff Mansion. So I'll probably do a tour of that before I do a tour of Eternity Isle. In fact, some of my future videos may be decorating sections of Eternity Isle that are empty once I decide what I'm going to do with those empty sections. Who knows? We'll see. I really don't know what, my kind of plan is for the channel. I enjoy playing Dreamlight Valley so much, so I thought, why not share what I enjoy with everyone?
Bye-bye now.
And that might just mean decorating, it might mean tours, it might be play with me's as I do quests in the future. I kind of missed opportunity on Wish Blossom Ranch, but who knows? I could do more in the future. So we are coming into my Storybook Vale. I always start at the Library of Lore. Now, I did recently discover that the snippet collectors that I had, because I think I had 4 or 5 in each biome, I think they were making my game lag. I was having an issue with lagging in Storybook Vale specifically, and I play on PlayStation 5, so lagging really shouldn't be an issue, and it was. I was troubleshooting. My valley's, it's decorated, but it's nowhere near, like, the full item amount. So I thought that couldn't possibly be it, but I did try, and, I troubleshooted that, and that didn't seem to help. So I do think it was the snippet collectors. So I'm pretty full on. I finished all of the reordering stories. I have like 800,000 storybook magic. So there's really no reason for me to continue collecting snippets at this time. And you can see I have a pretty big stockpile in each biome. They're all about that big. So I did remove the snippet collectors since this video, and that did help with the lagging. I don't know how these, like, people that have these huge snippet farms, I don't know how their valleys are functioning without lagging with all of those setup places. Because like I said, I had like 4 or 5 in each biome of Storybook, and it was very noticeable to me, the lagging in my game. And I'm used to it running very, very smoothly on PS5. I don't think you can really see it in this video, but it is definitely noticeable in actual playing, you know, while I'm playing it. So I don't know if this happens to anybody else. I don't know if you just saw right there where I was trying to go through that little corner back there. There is a couple of parts in my valley, in the main valley, in my little farm area, and in that corner there, where there is like an invisible barricade that I cannot get through. I have moved stuff thinking that it was, you know, a big footprint that was blocking me. That didn't help. It's like this invisible wall has just built itself up in these little sections, and it's so frustrating. I actually literally moved my little, like, stall market up to the Library of Lore because I was getting so frustrated of having to go all the way around it to bypass it. It's so frustrating. But so this is my little orchard wine, not orchard, vineyard, that I have all of the Storybook Vale crops. This is actually a place that I have kind of added on to since this video, so it does look a little bit different in another area where I've added crops from Storybook Vale specifically. I've added just, you know, a couple of pieces, actually on this left-hand side that, well, I say we're about to go through. Yeah, we're going through now. So I felt like this was kind of out of place, this little area over here. I felt like it is a very Italian, you know, vineyard type of, you know, build that I did. But I just felt like the statue area that we're going to pass through was way more like Grecian, you know, Grecian vibes. I use that word way too much. I'm sorry. I'm really trying to use different words, but my brain just can't. So I did move this down to this area that we're coming into in this little open space here, because that open space was blank. I didn't have anything there, and I thought that little fountain setup fit this area so much more than next to the vineyard. And I again made like a little crop ingredients section next to the vineyard instead, and I feel like that flows so much better. So like I said before, like, my valley's constantly changing. I'm constantly redecorating and redoing it. There are aspects of it that stay solid, but there's also things that I'm constantly changing because that's what I love. I'm a decorator at heart. I do love the quests and the tasks and, you know, that sort of thing, but at the end of the day, I grew up playing Sims way back when, like the OG Sims, so I have always loved decorating. Any game that has decorating as like the forefront is my jam. Big fan. Will always be a big fan. So I play games like Planet Zoo. I play Dreamlight Valley, obviously. I've played Manor Lords. I play, what else do I play? Hogwarts. Oh my gosh, why am I going blank? Hogwarts Legacy is another one. The part where you can decorate your room of requirement in the little animal sections or creature sections. I love it. So Dreamlight Valley is right now, has been my main game for a while, but I definitely do play other games a lot. So in the future, if, you know, I do branch out into other games, don't be surprised. I do have ADHD, so I do hyper focus on games periodically. Dreamlight Valley is a main core game that I play and I always come back to, and it probably will be the central focus of my channel, but I do tend to hyper focus on different things at different times, so don't be surprised. I also love decorating like my house and my spaces. I just recently, like yesterday, put up Christmas in my house, and again, I'm a very big lover of Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, so I do Harry Potter Christmas in my house, and it's so magical. I absolutely adore it. So if that's something that you're interested in seeing, I definitely don't mind making a video about that because it's magical. There's nothing better than a magical Harry Potter Christmas. How many times can I say the word magical? But I love the twinkly lights. I love Christmas. Fall is my favorite time of the year. I love Halloween. I love the cooling weather. I do live in Texas, so it doesn't really get cold here like it does in other parts of the world. And it's very rare that it's more often that we have an 80-degree Christmas than a snowy Christmas, but I still do love it. If I could, I would keep my Christmas tree up all year round. My mom actually did a Halloween Christmas tree, and it was my favorite thing ever. And if I have more time next year, I'm 1000% doing a Halloween Christmas tree. If I can con my husband into taking our tree out of the attic in September, I will. Because I don't go in our attic. I don't go in our garage. I don't go in our attic. That is places where the light does not touch, so we do not venture there. That is his domain. The house is mine, the garage is his. Inside, me. Outside and garage, husband. 100%. So, but I definitely, again, I love all things decorating, be it in gaming or in my real life. So, again, if that's something that y'all are interested in seeing, I would 100% make a, mini tour of what my Harry Potter Christmas looks like. Because it's beautiful. And I would love to share that with the world. So, let me know if that's up your alley. Anyways, so now we are heading into the Ever After section of my storybook Vale. This is the Fallen Fortress. I used to have Beast Castle here, and Look at me just multitasking, leveling up. Love it. Hello? Hello? What are you doing, sir? You're slacking. What was I saying? Oh. I originally had Beast Castle here, so you'll notice this is very, inspired by his, like, decor. Oh, well, you don't get to see much of it. So sorry. I told you, this isn't like a full tour, you're just seeing like little snippets. But when Lumiere and Cogsworth moved here, I love them, so I wanted to see them in my main valley more. So I redesigned my whole Forest of Valor to include Beast's Castle. I do want to eventually do like a full like fairy tale forest for my Forest of Valor. I have the Beast Castle there now. I'm not super happy with it, so that will probably change in the future. Maybe we'll do that as a video together. Again, I don't know. We'll just see where the wind takes us on this. I am very behind on recording videos. I have some recorded. I just haven't done the voiceovers for them yet. So I need to do that. Thanksgiving just happened. So I'm finishing this voiceover a few days from the beginning of it. So hopefully I won't get back on track. Again, I'm very new at this. I don't really know what I'm doing. This is all new to me, so just bear with me. And, you know, hopefully I will get better. Oh, hi, Goofy. Oh, guy. Gorsh. I cannot help but say that every time I see Goofy. I love his little gorsh. It makes me laugh. It really does. What you're seeing now, I think I said earlier in the video, I have removed all of the like snippet lures from my biomes because, again, you can't really see it in this, which I'm glad. I'm happy with. I'm glad you can't tell. But in the actual like playing of gameplay, you can tell the lag is very, very prominent. And removing the lures definitely helped. So if your game is lagging, you're playing on a console, or your computer really doesn't have issues with that and you're not sure why, and you have a bunch of snippet lures, that could be the issue. And if you're like me, who I've built up a big, a lot of storybook magic, and I have a big stockpile of snippets, then I would get rid of them. I built up my stockpile because I had all of the lures, and then I put pretty much everybody in my valley as their assignment was snippet catching. And when I would do my daily collecting, I would bring a villager with me and would just collect hundreds of them. And that's how I built up my storybook magic, and that's also how I built up my stockpile, because I wasn't sure how much we would need for the second part of the storybook veil. And obviously I still have a lot, so there's that. I don't really see an additional need. I've done all of the stories. I've done, I've built up a really good amount of storybook magic. So, if there's an update in the far future where we get more stories to, do, or, have you, then maybe I will start sacrificing my my smooth gaming and add them in again. But for now, I would rather have smooth gameplay than keep stockpiling and hoarding snippets. Now, for Wish Blossom Ranch, if we could have something similar, that would be great. Because, like for Pixie Dust, and specifically the Barnwood, it is so difficult to get some of these, and the flowers, which I did finally, I unlocked all the biomes, so I did finally get Beast's flower stall for the Wish Blossom Ranch, so hopefully collecting flowers will be easier now, but we'll see. Oh, we're back at the little Beast Castle area that I was talking about earlier, so there you go. Man, I'm telling you, you know, I had a hard time too with the Storybook Vale, especially the like the Olympian side. I can't remember what they're called, but the flowers for that side, I swear, for the first like 3 months, my spawning for that was broken. And it still isn't great, but having the flower stall has helped tremendously with that. And you know, honestly, it's probably not even that bad, and I'm just being dramatic, but I'm a hoarder. I like my resources to be at the maximum. So, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I do my daily collecting, my daily tasks. I appreciate you so much for stopping by, and let me know, you know, if you have any ideas for future videos. But until next time, see you later, dreamers.